Hello, my friends. Assalamu alaikum. I asked ChatGPT to provide me some detailed analysis which should focus on the philosophical implications of the Quran as the Word of God. Here is ChatGPT's response. This deeper analysis integrates concepts of divine communication, the purpose of life, and how the Quran addresses universal human questions. Number 1. The need for divine revelation. Philosophical basis. Humans, while endowed with reason and intuition, face limitations in understanding absolute truths, such as the purpose of existence, moral and ethical standards, the nature of life after death. If a creator exists and has a purpose for humanity, it is logical that this creator would provide guidance to help humans navigate these ultimate questions. How the Quran addresses this. The Quran explicitly claims to be this guidance. This is the book about which there is no doubt, a guidance for those conscious of Allah. Chapter 2, verse 2. It offers answers to existential questions, purpose of life. And I did not create the jinn and mankind except to worship me. Chapter 51, verse 56. Accountability. So whoever does an atom's weight of good will see it, and whoever does an atom's weight of evil will see it. Chapter 99, verses 7 and 8. Point number 2. Characteristics of divine communication. A divine revelation would logically exhibit certain traits. The Quran fulfills these, including universality. The Quran addresses all of humanity, transcending culture, race, and time. We have sent you, O Prophet, only as a mercy for the whole world. Chapter 21, verse 107. It provides guidance relevant to 7th century Arabia, which had elements like tribal disputes, idol worship, and social inequality. The Quran provides guidance relevant to modern times as well, which is characterized by ethical challenges, science-faith harmony, and globalized societies. Clarity and accessibility. The Quran states, and we have certainly made the Quran easy for remembrance. So is there any who will remember? Chapter 54, verse 17. Its balance between depth and simplicity allows it to resonate with scholars and lay people alike. Timelessness. Unlike human-authored works that become outdated, the Quran's principles remain applicable across centuries, whether addressing family rights, governance, or spiritual needs. Point number 3. The argument of coherence. Philosophical premise. A divine book would demonstrate absolute coherence, as truth is inherently consistent. Evidence from the Quran. Despite being revealed over 23 years in varying circumstances such as war, peace, personal loss, and victory, etc., the Quran remains internally consistent. Then, do they not reflect upon the Quran If it had been from any other than Allah, they would have found within it much contradiction. Chapter 4, verse 82. Example: the Quran speaks consistently on the oneness of God, that is Tawheed, found from the opening chapter Surah Al-Fatiha to the end Surah An-Nas. Ethical principles, justice, compassion, and accountability recur throughout. Point number 4. The moral framework of the Quran. Objective morality. Philosophers debate whether morality is subjective, that is shaped by culture, or objective, that is universal and immutable. A divine revelation provides an objective moral compass. The Quran offers this through clear guidelines on justice. Indeed, Allah commands you to render trusts to whom they are due, and when you judge between people, to judge with justice. Chapter 4, verse 58. Likewise, the Quran offers clear guidelines on compassion. And lower to them the wing of humility out of mercy. Chapter 17, verse 24. Ethical dilemmas resolved. Human systems often falter in addressing ethical dilemmas. For example, wealth disparity. The Quran mandates zakat, that is, charitable giving, to balance societal inequality. Retribution versus forgiveness. It balances justice with mercy. But if you pardon, overlook, and forgive, their reward is with Allah. Chapter 42, verse 40. Point number 5. Transformational impact. Philosophical insight. A true divine message would have a profound, transformative impact on individuals and societies. Evidence from the Quran. The Quran transformed individuals, that is, turning idol worshippers into monotheists, immoral traders into ethical leaders, and tribal warriors into cohesive communities. Likewise, the Quran transformed societies. For example, it established a civilization that thrived in governance, science, arts, and ethics for centuries, rooted in Quranic principles. Modern implications. The Quran continues to inspire millions to adopt values of charity, patience, and humility, demonstrating its enduring relevance. Point number 6. Challenges and the invitation to reflect. The Quran's challenge, that is, the Quran openly challenges skeptics. Say, if mankind and the jinn were to gather to produce the like of this Quran, they could not produce the like of it, even if they were to each other assistants. Chapter 17, verse 88. This challenge remains unmet despite advances in literature and technology. Invitation to reason. The Quran appeals to human intellect, urging reflection. Do they not contemplate within themselves? Allah created the heavens and the earth and everything between them in truth and for an appointed term. Chapter 30, verse 8. Conclusion. The Quran and Divine Revelation. From a philosophical perspective, the Quran aligns with what one would expect from a divine message. 1. It provides guidance on existential and moral questions. 2. Its coherence, universality, and transformative impact suggest an origin beyond human capability. 3. The Quran invites reflection, allowing each individual to explore its claims intellectually and spiritually. With this, ChatGPT's response finishes. Thank you.